My name is Makeela Tisdel. I work in the Innovation and Development team. I am the group's Corporate Social Responsibility Project Coordinator. My heritage is American, technically African American, but I think a lot of the feeling around that, especially from Americans, is that we don't quite identify with Africa because our heritage only goes back until slavery. A lot of our heritage was stolen from us. It's a lot that we don't know about ourselves. So it's beautiful in that sense that we can create something new. And so I am American. I started actually as an admin assistant at the university center. So when I went in, I applied for another role. And I wasn't successful in getting that role, but they called me back and said, oh, we really think you'll be a good fit for this one, and we just want you to get a lay of the land. I think I did it for around 7 months. And then my new role came up, and it was something that I felt like I had a lot more ties to. Um, my background is in government and national security, and I dealt with a lot of things in policy. And some of my role as a corporate social responsibility project coordinator allows me to work on those policies and the ones and just doing social projects for different things that I believe in. I think the best thing about working here for me is the people. Um, I've worked in a lot of places, and I felt like when you speak to someone or when you come across someone, sometimes they don't welcome you with a smile, or you kind of feel like, oh, I'm at work, even if you've been there for quite a long time, but I really don't belong. I find a sense of belonging here, and that's what I like about it. I mean, from day one entering a team, I kind of felt like I knew them the entire time, and I always wanted a work family, especially being so far away from home. I think it's important to have people that you feel like genuinely care about you, that you get on with, or that you can have a laugh and a joke with. So I'm passionate about a lot of things. I think the most thing I'm passionate about is seeking out knowledge and learning new things. I try to challenge myself to learn things all the time and try to challenge people that I know to continue to learn things. I think the last thing I did was before I left to move here in 2017, I taught my grandmother how to use her iPhone. Not only so I can communicate with her, but she got diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's, and a part of slowing the process down is training her brain to learn new things. So we got her the iPhone with hopes that we could put brain games on it. We got her Alexa because they're all new to her and all new things that she's learning. So it is helping, and I get to communicate with her every day. I think what's challenging about my experience is that sometimes I feel like I don't have anyone to talk up to or to look up to in that matter. Um, I come from a long line of nurses and social workers. So if I'm seeking out advice about career opportunities, pathways, I have to do a lot of that myself. And even in a working environment, it might be people there that you would think I feel comfortable talking to or comfortable expressing myself to, but not always, because I feel like I have some lingering sense of you can't ask too many questions because you don't want to feel inferior or you don't want to feel incompetent. So that's a big thing for me. I think it's some of my own triggers, but it's a lot of I want to find a person that I can identify with, that I actually feel comfortable talking with. I would say that my proudest achievement, I've had a lot, so I need to think about this really great. My proudest achievement is actually moving away from my family and establishing myself on my own. Um, I am one of 10 siblings, so I have quite a lot of siblings, and my family is close knit. I think I talk to them every day over FaceTime, and separating myself from them and moving to a new country and moving away from all of my friends and my family and creating new friends and family and just really saying, oh, okay, well, I'm just going to figure everything out. I've got my own 2 feet and I'm going to keep walking forward. that's a big accomplishment for me, because I kind of thought that I would move here for about 3 years and then be rushing to go back, but I like my newfound independence. So that's my biggest passion. I mean, my biggest achievement, my newfound independence. I think many people have supported me, definitely. Mentoring me, I'm still getting my foot in around that. It's a lot of people that I look up to here, and I like that I can access them easily. Like, if I have a question or if I'm uncertain about things, they're very supportive in the sense that they will sit there and listen to me go on and on until I figure it out. And when I figure it out, they'll be like, well, you had the answer. So yeah, the support system here is really good. If I could fix one thing here for people with diverse background, it would be to highlight them and let them know that you are seen, you do belong here, it is a place for you here, and anything you want to do is you can accomplish it, and there are people here that will help you. I think that is the most important thing, is that they would feel a sense of, if I don't have all the answers, or if I am uncertain about anything, then I can ask for help, and they wouldn't feel bad about it, or they wouldn't feel like they're not useful because they ask for help. Oh. My work history is tricky. I think if I could explain it in one word, I would say abundant. I've done so many different roles to kind of figure out who I am, and the path wasn't always laid for me. And I think that speaks a lot about me, because I thought I was one that had it all figured out and I knew exactly where my life was going to lead, and it didn't lead me there. I think I've worked on mayoral campaigns, I worked for City Hall, I've worked in hospitality with Hilton Hotels, I've worked in retail. I mean, it's a lot of back and forth, and I think ultimately what I take from it is that you can learn something from any setting you're in. If you're there, it's a lesson to be learned, and you need to figure out what it is. You're going to spend a longer time there if you don't learn a lesson. So I think it's, look at those opportunities as what they are, an opportunity for you to make it into something, and not focus on not being where you want to be. I know Black History Month means discovery to me. Just because of my heritage and where I come from, a lot of our history is lost, and a lot of our history is still being created, and there are a lot of things that we weren't taught in school and that my mom taught me at home that I feel like we need to know. I wouldn't have the identity I have today if I didn't seek my own understanding of what Black history is and who Black role models and Black leaders are. I think I've spent so much time searching for, why do I like this, or why do I like that, or why am I interested in things like this. I just wish somebody out there was interested in the things I'm interested in. And then with social media, everything kind of broke through. I can go on and I can find a path of a Black leader that has done, or through reading books outside of the curriculum books, I can find that identity. And so for me, it's finding your identity and discovering what Black history is. This project means to me visibility and hope. I'm hoping that through this project, someone like me, or who I used to be, will find some sense of who they want to be and create a path to get there, and will know I can get there, I can achieve it. I think a lot of the times, people of color, we just feel like we have these unrealistic goals because we can't picture ourselves there, because all the people there don't look like or don't represent us. And I feel like these videos can offer someone some sense of representation, or some sense of an attainable goal, if that makes sense.